An excellent topic, one of my favorite topics. Let's go ahead and get this thing a little corrected for you. 1 second. And we will be waiting our notifications as they're coming through right now. And we just have our first young man in here from England. Hello, Nico. Today we're going to be talking about some very important postural mistakes that we make over and over and over, and things that we can do to help our posture. I'm going to go in some great exercises. We're going to be filling up the chat room right about now, but we're going to move really quick through this. I have a lot to say, something that's going to be really good for you. I think you're going to enjoy this program. The most important thing right now I want to talk about, briefly, we talk about forward head posture. Forward head posture is something that I bring up quite often, probably more than anyone here on the internet, because of the fact that most degenerative problems occur from this forward head posture problem. So we can see here at 12 pounds, the normal weight of the head. Hello guys from the chat room from Italy, Rich, Philadelphia, Bouncy, and Shiraz. I know we're all about ready to come in, but I want to move quick through here because people are complaining that we're talking too much about other things. So we're going to move through it, and I'll come back to you guys a little later. Hi, Thaif. So if you see 12 pounds, normal weight of the head, each inch we go forwards an additional 10 pounds. If you go 2 inches forward, we're looking at 32 pounds of weight. At 3 inches forward, 42 pounds of weight. The back of the muscles, the ligaments, and discs have to hold up, causing lots of degenerative problems. As we look at working on a computer, which many of you do, if you don't work, you're sitting on a computer. Look at the difference how you sit on a computer and how you ride a bicycle. Now, a lot of you are saying, wow, I never knew that. Well, this is part of the condition that we do every day. In our lives, we ride bikes, we exercise, but we potentially do a lot of damage to the back of our neck and shoulders. No different, really, as we're sitting over that computer. I'm going to go over some really important tips for you, things that you can do to change these problems. But I just want to throw this good information out at you. And again, YouTube will put this up on my channel. You'll be able to see this again and share this with your friends and loved ones. I think it's some really good, important information. It took me a while to put it together, but I think that you will benefit from this. Working at a computer, as we see, hold on 1 second here. Let's see if we can get this straightened out. 1 second. Okay, as you see that same posture again, look at the lower back area, how it's hunched over, no support, head forward. We've got over 3 inches forward, 4 inches forward, lots of stress behind the neck and shoulders, causing excessive pulling in the upper trap muscles. Not a good position to be in, and this is something that we're going to correct by the end of the program. I'm going to show you all little kinds of tips that you can do to get strong again, to get your posture up, to really feel good, because posture is the essence that's really destructing people's health, not only our health, but the youngsters' health as well. Here's another position right here, this fellow leaning over that computer. You can see that you may have do similar things at home. This will destruct your health. We look at texting right here. Spending all this time just texting, looking down, puts a tremendous burden upon the back of the neck and shoulders. You can look just at 0 degrees. We have a normal weight of our head. The first picture there showing 10 to 12 pounds of weight. As we move over just 15 degrees forward with the head going forward, that's 27 pounds of weight. 30 degrees forward is 40 pounds of weight, 45 degrees, 49 pounds of weight, and 60 degrees forward, which many of us do, not only us, but many kids. Now, if you got children out there, and you need to really show them these videos, this is a great video, because you know what? I have a daughter who's got a dowager's hump in the back of their neck, that little swelling back there from all that texting, sitting up in the bed at night, doing this all day long. You got to be real careful. It's going to cause destructive things in your body. Hey guys in the chat room, I see all you guys. I'm just trying to move through here because a lot of people who look at these later, we don't want so much talking, but we're going to come back to you a little later. So that's very important. Now understand, 60 pounds of weight, 60 degrees going forward, that's like carrying 6 bowling balls out in front of you. That's like holding a 60-pound baby, or I say a baby, a big kid in your arms. It's not easy to walk around with that. Now imagine what the back of the neck and muscles have to really sustain to do that. All right, you can see again how the spine goes through deformation. At the left, you have a normal cervical curve. This is the way the cervical curve should be, the cervical lordosis, like this, to support the head, to keep these discs preserved, okay? So as this head goes forward, we lose that curve, then we start to reverse the curve. All the stress being put on those discs, which eventually start causing the herniations, the bulgings, the encroachment, the arthritic changes, the degenerative changes, the foraminal encroachment, the spinal stenosis. All that stuff is no good. First thing I want to go ahead and let you know, we look at the slouching we do. We look, ladies here, let me see if I can kind of find what I'm looking for here. There's a big problem that a lot of you ladies do. First of all, let's see if I can find it. Give me a second. Well, I'm going to just jump on to another point here because I got a lot in here. I'm trying to find. If you look at this, ladies, high heels puts a tremendous burden upon your lower back as well as your spine, if your neck too. This causes an anterior shift of the pelvis, bringing the pelvic forward. This will affect your posture in your neck. If you look at this picture right here, you can see as your body goes forward, what your body has to do. Now, obviously, when you wear high heels, if you look all the way to the right, you'll see the increased sway back of the lower back. So if you're wearing high heels, the body is going forward like this, as that spine shows you in that first view. It starts to go forward, and as a result of that, this back starts to become hyperlordotic. And as it becomes hyperlordotic, you get excessive stress in that lower back area, affecting lower back pain. For people who have chronic lower back pain, this will affect the forward posture as well, because everything, the kinetic chain is working its way up the spine, and it will cause anterior rotation of that pelvic, the anterior pelvic tilt. So you need to be real careful when it comes down to that. Now, also, I want to bring out something important. If people out there are doing this, you need to stop. This is not good for you. Why? Because it's kind of like putting a patch on something and not correcting it. People are doing this every day, and it's not good because you really need to get to the root, to the underlying etiology of what's causing your pain, your poor posture, your rounded shoulders, your forward head posture. And if you just keep supporting it, this is as good as putting a support around your lower back and walking around all day. Those muscles are not going to get strong. You need to really concentrate on strengthening the weakened muscles and stretching the contracted or shortened muscles. Those are the two important things. Strengthening the weakened muscles and stretching the short contracted muscles. Very, very important. We look at supports. Let's hold on a second for me. See if I can get this out of the way. We look at lower back supports. A lot of people sitting up are not having the support behind their lower back. Now, I love wedges. These wedges are really good. Now, the wedge kind of goes from an incline to a decline. If you see that wedge there, what that will do is that will put the normal curve into the lower back without a back support, and that is something that you might want to consider. Now, this is a very good pillow, good support. Now, I want to show you what you don't want to do. You see that picture there is good. You see it supporting smack into the lumbar spine, okay, right in that lordosis. It's supporting that. And by doing that, it's going to allow your shoulders to come back, and it's really going to help you. But this is a big problem that people are doing, all right? This picture right here, look where she has that back support. I see it over and over and over again. You must get that pillow or that support or that rounded pillow or that rolled up towel and put it back right smack in this position right there, supporting that lower lumbar area. It's going to eventually give you lots of problems if you do not. So I highly recommend you guys to make sure that you are actually putting the pillow to where it belongs. Just like the neck, the pillow ideally should be supporting under the neck. If your head is on a pillow and you're flexed too forward high or if you're on your side and you're too low or too high, that spine of your head must stay straight with the rest of your spine. Now, I'm going to show you another big problem. And you're going to say, wow, another big problem we talk about feet. Okay, now I'm going to get to that in 1 second. See if I can find it here. Pronated feet. This is a serious problem. If you look at your shoes and you look like you're wearing the outside of your shoes, okay, because right now the feet should be balanced like this. And most people have a fallen arch. And what happens is the foot falls inwards like this, or they both fall inwards. And if you look at that right ankle there, that is inversion. And the problem with inversion is that it's going to affect the rest of the spine. It just doesn't affect that area. It affects the knee. The knee changes. So a lot of people who experience knee problems, actually up to the hips, see how the hip changes, that will affect all the way up into the back area. Very, very important. You understand that. Those postural, okay, those postural distortions will definitely cause many, many problems. There is something I'm trying to find right now that I think will really answer a lot of your questions as I go through this. Let me just see if I'll come back to it. Okay, so a lot of you are saying, what are some important exercises? What can I do to correct these problems? What should I be doing? There are quite a few things I'm going to recommend for you. Number one, I want to just briefly state before we go into that, I wanted to show you the good ergonomics of a chair. If you didn't see this yesterday, we put a great video together. Number one, your eyes should be at the top of the screen, or 1/3 the top of the screen. You should have a 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees. Your feet should be flat on the floor. Okay. You should have a support behind your lower back. Your hands should be stabilized. Very important. How many people out there, let me give you another idea. Does this look like you sometimes? Okay, see your hands right there? You want it supported. But if your arms are up like this for long periods of time, you're going to start affecting problems in your neck because those upper trap muscles are firing. You see, how many people out there, you or know of someone who works a lot with your arms out in front of you? I don't care what you do. If you sew, if you're a mechanic, if you're a barber, if you're a beautician, you cut here, your arms are always up all the time. You need to get them down more. If you don't get them down more, it's going to cause lots of problems in that neck area. That will lead to a lot of nerve irritation conditions, and it will cause lots of pain. Okay, so let me go into a few things. We got the back supports. This is what I was trying to find before. Look at the ankle, the left ankle, how it's pronated in. Look at the angle of the knee. Look at the angle of the hip, and look how it affects all the way up to the upper back and the neck area. It affects distortion with the head turning like this. If your shoes, okay, are worn out on the outside heel, okay, and I'm trying to really find that as I talk. If your shoes are worn out on the outside heel, it means you are pronating. And very, very common. I would say, God, I can't tell you how much of the population is pronated. Very, very common condition for knee problems, ankle problems, hip problems, back problems, because it's the pedal foundation. If something becomes distorted off below, everything above is going to have to compensate. So you want to make sure that you are having good arch supports, a good shoe, because that will help a lot of your problems. Okay, so let's go a little bit, talk about some important exercises. I love these. These are one of my favorite, and I'll put them both up there. These are called the wall angel exercises. These are something that really will help allow your head to come back, allow your shoulders and your ears to be aligned. Wall angel exercises, you can start at 90 degrees like that shows you on the right. You just kind of come up. Let me come back a little bit so you can see me. Okay, so trying to get into cam here. You're just going to come up against the wall and come up and come back down. And keep everything, keep the back of your head, the back of your back, all up against the back of the wall, and do those exercises. I promise you, they look so easy, but a lot of you are going to have a hard time because you're going to feel like, I can't keep back. But you got to do the best you can and keep doing those little exercises. I really think that's going to make a huge difference. Now we know about chin tucks. One of my favorites, the anterior deep flexors of the neck are very weak in most of us, causing forward head posture, and we need to strengthen those. So I put in your chin, your finger on your chin, and just pushing back, holding it for 5 seconds, come back again, pushing back. Make sure your chin stays even with the floor. Don't flex it, don't go back. See, you want to have like a double chin. Very important. Double chin is very, very important. All right, another view on the chin tuck here. You can look at here, you can see the same view from the side as you look at the man on the right side, and you can see a view here, the neck alignment. Look at the ears. And I like to use the finger because it kind of just guides you better, keeps your head more on the horizon. You must have a double chin when you're doing this, otherwise you're not doing it correctly. And a lot of people will say, I have pain when I do this, because you're going back too far. You only need to go back about a ½ inch. Now, what you can do, you can lay on your stomach, put your head down on the bed, and just lift your head back up against gravity, and that will work it as well, because you are using the weight of your head. Now, these are rhomboid muscles. Rhomboid muscles are designed to bring the shoulders backwards. Those are the main retractors of our spine, and that is the reason why people have forward rounded shoulders, because of those tight rhomboids. And those rhomboids are extremely important that you start strengthening them. Now, let me see if I can find something for you here. Give me a second. Okay. But the rhomboids are very, very important. I cannot stress it. There's a lot of people out there. Now, you can do rows like this. You can take a band and pull it back as long as your elbows are coming back and you're pulling back like this. You're pulling back. You're going to work those rhomboids. Okay? You can actually take a band in front of you, like a little exercise band, and you can just push and pull your shoulder blades back together. As you grab the band like this, if you see me here, and just pull your shoulder blades back together. Now here's another picture here, just to give you an idea, because I want you guys to learn. This is what's going to help you get well, guys. You can take a can of soup if you don't have any weights. You can take anything in both hands that weigh about the same, and you want to keep those elbows bent and pitch those shoulder blades together. You see what this fellow's doing? He's on his stomach, lying prone, bringing the shoulders back, pinching the shoulder blades together, strengthening those rhomboids. And those rhomboid muscles are extremely important. If you want to get well, you must strengthen those rhomboids. If you're spending a lot of time doing push-ups, pushing, bench pressing, pulling on your lats, those muscles are attaching in the front of your shoulders, and as they get stronger, they're going to pull your shoulders forward. So lighten up a little bit on the other exercises, on those chest exercises and those lat exercises if you have rounded shoulders. It will help you because you need to balance that out. It's very, very important. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else. Oh, here we go, ladies. Wow, how many ladies we got out there? I'm sure we got quite a few. Look at the purse. Big problem with postural problems because you're compensating. Whatever we do in the body must stay bilateral. If you're unilaterally causing excessive contracture on the muscles, this is going to lead to lots of problems. So my advice for you ladies is lighten up the purse and alternate the sides that you're holding that purse on throughout the day. That will really help you. Last but not least, let me just see here. The wall stretch is a great stretch. It's very important to stretch those short pecs out. The short pecs, bring your shoulders forward. Okay, now one of my favorite, and you've seen this in many of my videos on my channel, is the door stretch. I love this stretch. Pectoralis minor, pectoralis major. those contracted chest muscles pronate, round the shoulder forward, you must do these 3 exercises. You must do the chest stretching, as in the door stretch. If you don't like the door stretch, if you don't have a door, you can do a wall stretch. You do both sides. The wall stretch is really, really important. The chin tuck is extremely important. Okay, very, very important. I like the wall angel exercises. If you just tuned in with us, keeping the back up against the wall as you do this, very, very important. And the other last is the rhomboid exercise. Okay, if you don't do it that way, you can do it that way, or you can actually, as long as you're pulling, you must really work those rhomboids, because those rhomboid muscles are extremely important. That's how you're going to get well, guys. You really much got the tools here, guys. You really got about everything you need. This is the most cut and dry, nuts and bolts video you're going to see on the internet. I promise you. This really carries on the most of the common things that we do every day, things that we can change like this, as long as you have the tools. You got the tools. You really need to get to work. Now, one very important thing, you guys who are having significant problems like herniated discs, bulging discs, degenerative joint disease, osteoarthritic changes, bilateral neuroforaminal encroachment, spinal stenosis, whatever the problem is, it's coming from postural biomechanics. You can go to doctors, you can get cortisone, you can even get surgery, but if you don't get to the root of your condition and you don't strengthen, I get hundreds and hundreds of emails. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead. People are always asking me the best way to get a hold of me. It's very hard to communicate on this, and even my emails, I get so many. But join my Facebook, Motivational Doc, on my Facebook fan page. A great way to communicate with others as well. But these are the things you really need to start teaching. Teach your children. Teach your friends, teach your family, teach the people who are hurting out there. I ask you guys to please, share these videos. I ask you to subscribe as well. It's something that, this is all about education. And, I come here because I love being together. I love educating. I love teaching. And I know that we're really changing lives. We're really helping lives. And that's what it's all about. So listen, guys. I just want to wish all you a blessed day, because this is going to be pre-recorded again, being put on my channel. I don't want to kind of drag this on any further. We really covered a lot of nuts and bolts. I want to say blessings to all of you guys. All right. Make it a great day. We'll catch up with you real soon. Ciao.